Okay, so for this video we'll be doing a deck profile for a Genesis summoning deck that will focus using Knight. It's actually a yellow-pink Genesis summoning deck, and then we'll go over the different cards of why we're using pink than the normal stereotypical red, yellow. But for this one we are using Knight, and again it did get a boost with set 3 where you start with 4 cards in hand rather than the 2. So for the first card we're running 4 albavolts. So again, the deck is about healing your damage or taking cards out of it, so that way we can last longer against other decks. And then with albavolts, it also has a breakthrough, so that way you can get through defense zones and still deal damage, as well as it having 6 HP gets around a lot of different cards like Aeons, Embrace of Aeons, or even like Lucifer that deal like 5 damage increments. So having that 6 HP is actually pretty relevant. Next we have 4 aras. So again, another Genesis summon target because it is a warrior. And then the main part is that there are warriors in this deck that you can use, level 1 warriors or less, that you can bring back with Aras's DR effect. And then it also prevents effect damage, so we can prevent other cards that deal damage to our units. And then for our first pink, we have a space. We have 2 space Camelot space Lancelot of Camelot. And this one is a charge shield and double attacker. And then when you do special summon this from your deck, you do get to use its overdrive ability. So if we Genesis, it is a warrior as well, so when we Genesis summon this, we can actually bring it, we can Genesis summon it out and then get a charge. There's also another thing that changed with set 3, where because it is a warrior, it means you can actually Genesis summon with this deck. And the way there's a ruling when it comes to paying cost. So for like Genesis summoning, because of charge shield, because charge shield triggers when the unit would leave play to move to any zone, including like the deck, you can actually pay the charge, and then you'll be able to Genesis summon, keeping your Camelot, and then get out another unit with whatever thing you're Genesis summoning with, whether it be Shiori or even Paula. So that's why this card is pretty good, as well as, again, double attacker just like Aras, also helps us clear through a lot of units, and having 5 attack is pretty relevant. And sometimes using the charge shield to actually just keep it alive can be very helpful. So our first Genesis summoning unit is Archietta. So again, just a generally good Genesis summoning that allows us to use our level 0s as level 1, so that way we can get level 3s using her, and then we get to actually draw more cards, and then we can summon more units if we need to. And then we have 4 Shioris, because again there's a certain amount of familiars in our deck, so that way we can abuse or reuse them, especially because they are counters, so that way when we do shuffle the deck, we'll have more means to counter when your opponents attack us. We also have 2 Aras, Rule of the Sky. So from set 1, again, when this card is Genesis summoned, you can heal 1 life, and it also has Defender. So again, there's just another target that we can use, especially with like Paula, where maybe we can't hit the 3 cost, but 2 cost is still able to hit this. And then we have 1 Masashi. So this is a warrior, so it's level 2. So with Paula's our level 1 Genesis Summoner, we can actually put this back in our deck. But it's a legend that doesn't take up a slot, that when we play it, either through touchdown, in this case for us, we can actually choose 1 enemy and destroy it. So again, just choice destruction, and then potentially using the last ability if, when we're attacked and it's in our hand, we can use it to maybe get our opponent. And then we have 4 Paula, so this is the one we were referring to earlier. So this one is the one from set 3, that when you play it for a touchdown, you can look at the top 3 cards, look for a level 1 or less unit, add it to your hand, and if you added a card, you can discard a card. So it lets us cycle through our deck for things we might need. And then again, we can Genesis summon it, a way to get one of our level 3s. Then we have 4 Cat Sith of Bonds. So this is a level 1 warrior. That's relevant since it usually will never be in our damage zone. But it is a familiar, so again, it is a target for a shiori. As well as it can become a level 2 with Genesis summon with Paula, so we can get a level 3 as well. But it also has Giant Killer, so that way we can kill, opposing level 3s on our opponent's side, as well as the ability of when does it get discarded from your hand, like with Paula, we can special summon it. For the next card, we're running 2 warriors. We're running 2 anubises, anubis lookalikes. So this is again when it's destroyed, you get to look at your opponent's hand and discard a card. As well as these are both targets for aras. And then we also have zeigar, dragon knight. So when this card comes into play, when you use its touchdown, you can choose a opponent set card and then send it to the graveyard. And then while this ability is on the gate, they can't respond with that specific card. So it's good set destruction. But again, these ones you could switch for either or, depending if, like, say, a lot of people aren't running like set cards, you could actually get rid of zeigar, because zeigar has pretty low attack power at a 2, so sometimes it can't actually clear a lot of units on its own. We're also running 2 Schrodinger, Spirit of Singularity. So when we counter check this, we can actually use its overdrive ability, which is to swap cards in our graveyard. So we could actually swap one of our like level 1 warriors into our damage, so that way we can use them for aras and prep them. And then even though this is not a familiar or anything that we can use to Genesis summon, once during your turn you can actually use its ability to choose warrior, and then you can actually make itself a warrior, so that we can Genesis summon it away. And if you really need to, you can also play it for free essentially, because you can DR1 to instead pay a cost of 0 to play this. It does still use your summoning cap, but it doesn't also get targeted by your opponent's events or abilities, so that can be also very helpful. It also makes, one thing interesting is that it makes your cards in your damage zone also that same one. So if you choose warrior with Schrodinger, you could actually like have a Paula in your damage zone, use Schrodinger to make everything a warrior, Genesis summon Schrodinger, bring out Aras, and then you can actually call out your Paula, get the ability, and then you could even Genesis summon again with Paula and then Aras, and then you can like go into another Aras, or you could even go into albavolt or the space camelot. So it lets you Genesis summon multiple times. You can do different abilities where you could heal with Aras and then heal with say like an albavolt, so that way you've actually healed up 2 cards from your deck. So this allows us to do that, as well as again for the touchdown, if we just play it normally, we can also use it to destroy set cards if we need to. And then we're also running 4 Wescalot, Imperial Legionary. So this is just for the energy boost. So like once per turn when you play it for touchdown, you can ready one of your energies. And again, it's another target for Aras. Next we're running 4 Ragdoll Sith. So again, this is just a basic familiar that when we counter it, you can summon it, but then it does die at the end. And as well as changes level to 1, so you can use it with Shiori to make a level 3, or even with Paula you can use it to make a level 2, which is why we have the level 2 Aras from set 1 in our deck as well. We're running 1 Demon Dragon Lord Meller's Magic Collaborator.ex. So this just lets us put potentially one of our level 3 targets on the bottom of our deck, and we get to draw 2. This card could probably easily be changed for something else. Like some of the level 0 events we have after this, because it is 2 costs, so it is kind of steep when a lot of our cards cost like 2 to 3, especially when we want to play multiple cards in a turn, and taking a turn off to just play this doesn't feel as good. Next we have 4 Space Cave. So this card is very good because again, if your opponent's not playing around it, they could like say attack with one of their attacking units, and then they hit this, and then you can rest your opponent's ruler, and then they lost like a 3-strike attack, or again, even if you if they attack with the ruler first, you can still rest one of their other units. So the ability to essentially null an attack off of the counter is really good, as well as even just drawing it and then using it as a preventing 2 damage when you get attacked can also be very good. And then lastly, we have 4 Wall of Shields. So again, this is the same card as Shields Up. So you could even replace like this Demon Melkors with another shield, with an actual shield up. So then you're running like 5 versions of this nulling and a direct attack to your ruler. Because then again, the whole point is that we want to survive bigger attacks and then heal out the smaller damage. And then so we can continue going on and then, you know, slowly wear down our opponent's resources. But with that, that's all for this deck list. Or deck profile, and the deck list will be again in the description below, and then if there are other decks that you'd like to see, put in the comments, and then I will try to see what I can do for these different archetypes. Okay, thank you for watching, and then I'll see you guys in the next one.